What's up, guys? Brendan for Market Makers, your home for Wyckoff and Advanced Fibonacci TA. My friends, we need to look at the price action, what's happening. Lots of bearishness is overwhelming the market. You guys have known this. We've been talking about the possibility the market's all topped. As you know, we have not had another push up yet. And as a matter of fact, we just keep getting more dissension. Okay. And we need to look at a couple of different things here. This is the weekly time frame. As you can see, with the way we laid the trend-based fib out, previous all-time high to the market bottom to the current all-time high, you get this perfect kiss within $40 here of this candle, and we've basically been stuck in this range, okay? We've been stuck in this range. This is a very big picture, and yes, guys, I do believe when the other markets start to crash, which I do expect to happen, you're going to be visiting 10,630, and in all honesty, that's completely generous because the other markets, if they repeat what they've done the last two equity bubbles, which happened both in the last 2 years, the last two bubbles, I should say, one was a housing market bubble, the last 20 years, the SPX has gone down 50%. And when the SPX went down 50% in the dot-com bubble, the NASDAQ went down 82%. Bitcoin normally goes down 80% after a bull market anyways. 80% from where you were at your 69K high is roughly 10K to begin with. So I do believe the actual location of where we will be going eventually, and this could take months, guys, to get there, is that March 9th low, that COVID low at almost 3,900. That's my prediction. You're going to see 4K Bitcoin when these other markets begin to get pulled apart. A couple of things you can see happening in the market. You could say, well, what about another push up? That's always a possibility. But you have to look at the market as a series of problems that have to be solved. And what is the problem that has to be solved? What is preventing Bitcoin from going up? What in the macro market space? It's not Russia and Ukraine. That's only been going on for a couple of weeks. Bitcoin has been on a dissension since November 8th, 2021. It is down. Let's go ahead and measure this really quickly. It is down, what, over 50% since then? Let me go ahead and pull this down. At its peak, it was down 52%. It's roughly down 44% right now. So we have been in a mass dissension since our all-time high. But there's a couple of key things that's happening in the world that's preventing Bitcoin from really going up. One of them is inflation. As you guys know, that actual inflation number is north of 15% using the Fed's own template from the early 80s. Late 70s. Another thing that is going to hamper Bitcoin from going on a parabolic run is oil, okay? If you watch any of my videos when I talk about oil in my Discord, I made a video a couple of weeks ago, actually before the Russia-Ukraine event, where I predicted oil would hit 125. In my video in the Discord, I said it's going to hit 125. That's when oil was at $84. Now, and I said it would happen by June. Now what we have happening with the Russia-Ukraine incident and the possibility of blocking all oil imports basically everywhere in the world out of Russia, we're looking at $200 oil. Gas is over $4 here in Florida. Some U.S. cities as high as $7. They're talking about $10 gas. It's very hard to assume that Bitcoin, cryptos, hyperspec assets are going to have another run up when the average middle class person is getting squeezed on energy prices, squeezed on food prices, overall massive inflation, the highest in 40 years. These are all key events. You guys need to understand what's happening in the marketplace. I can show you something else here on the DXY. Since Bitcoin had its all-time high, let's go ahead and look at the DXY. As you guys know, the DXY is the US dollar measured against a basket of currencies. And this has been tracking since November 8th. It's been on a run. Let's go ahead and look at this. Let's find it real quick. November 10th, I think, was the actual date of Bitcoin's all-time high. So since November 10th, look what the DXY has been doing, and it took off, okay? It took off. It went up today even higher, and we're building a higher base. Bitcoin, it has been going down since the DXY has been pumping up all the way since November 10th, okay? November 10th, there's your all-time high. See that candle? And the lowest candle in that little micro trend there was the Bitcoin all-time high. Boom, the dollar has started taking off. Bitcoin inversely has been going down. And you can see this just making a series of lower highs, moving its way up. And guess where the US dollar is now on the DXY? It is within $3 of its high, the highest level it's been at since the COVID crash. Here's your COVID crash over here. March 2020. Remember, the markets all tanked, everything tanked. The dollar hit a massive peak over here of about 101. I think it was 103 somewhere in here. Maybe 102, between 102 and 103. Don't want to zoom in on the actual candle. Between 102 and 103, and we are at 99 right now, okay? So if you notice something here, the important things, that inverse relationship, Bitcoin went on a parabolic run since COVID, right? It's been on a march up. And then look what the DXY has been doing. Overall descension all the way down. And it came back up here and came back down. And this is in May. You see this? And then in May, when it started to climb, this is when Bitcoin was really struggling. Remember that? This is your accumulation phase where you were with Bitcoin. And you come out over here to, where are we at? November. And now the DXY made some bottoms, higher lows, and it's moving up, and Bitcoin is dropping. So it's another thing to pay attention to in this macro market space. Let's go ahead and look at the daily. Guys, nothing is tracking closer to Bitcoin than the Russell 2000. I showed you that overlay last video. And if you look at my screen, this is a Russell 2000 represented with the orange line. You see this? Let me go ahead and take these moving averages. Well, I wanted to show you. So the Russell 2000, just like Bitcoin, Russell 2000, here's its all-time high. Let me go ahead and pull this down. Russell 2000 all-time high was November 8th. Bitcoin's all-time high was November 10th. Okay? They both have a death cross. The Russell 2000 and Bitcoin have an EMA death cross. And then you can see how closely they are tracking together. Now, keep in mind, Bitcoin's much more volatile, right? It is a hyperspec asset, moves like a hyperspec tech stock, but the Russell's an index. But you can see how closely they are tracking, even bottoming. I mean, look at that. Look how they're bottoming together. You see this, revisiting their January lows, basically coming back up. Actually, Bitcoin did better coming back up, got to the 233 here on the daily, and then fell back down. The Russell came back down, revisited its lows, and it's going right here in the middle. You can see they're even making double tops together, okay? Again, the markets are all sending bearish signals. The CPI report that comes out, if it comes in hot again, you could see the markets take another leg down. There is always a door open, although a very small opportunity for the markets to have another melt up. But in reality, they've already had that melt up, guys. I went over that. I'm going to do an index video tomorrow as well. You guys, I'm going to start putting out videos, several different videos. When looking at my video schedule, I think from talking to you the YouTube watchers, viewers in the comment section, from talking to my own Discord members, I want to make some shorter videos, 5 to 7 minutes, give you the information you need. And I'm going to do that for Bitcoin. I'm going to do it for the indexes. I'm going to do it for commodities. So I'm going to try to get 3 videos out basically every single day, because this is the time in your life when you can make a lot of money if you know how to trade these marketplaces. I've traded the last 2 bubbles. I was at an investment bank in 2008 when the market crashed. I saw it happen, okay? So this is something you need to understand. You definitely need to check out our Discord link in the video description. Check out BitGet in the video description. There is a lot of money to be made in any type of market dissension. And if that small chance, let's just say it's 80-20, that 20% chance that Bitcoin does push its way back up to make a new all-time high, or to at least try to attempt to tackle its previous all-time high, that is also a tradable opportunity and a tradable event. So let's go ahead and look at this. Let's throw some indicators on here. Let's see exactly what's going on. Let's check out our Caterpillar. Let's look at our volatility here on the daily. I mean, we're bottling up, guys. There is a move incoming, and yes, this move could be up. It could be a dead cat bounce. We have to test this 233 again. As you guys know, we hit it before and we got rejected. Let me get a measurement from that rejection here. Let me go ahead and throw this on here. And let's take this one off instead. And where are we at? Where's our tool at here? Oh, let's look at this rejection. So far, man, this is about a 20% rejection. So like just over 18%. Last time we hit the 233, okay? So if we pump back up, that would be almost a 20% move back up, maybe a little bit less from where we're at right now, and then potentially another move back down. So this will be really interesting to watch. That 233 is absolutely crucial to watch on the daily. Remember, the rubber band, Wyckoff action reaction. If you have a market sell-off, you will always come back to test your moving averages. You see price do it over and over again. And if you don't flip it, you get rejected. And if you get rejected enough, like over here in this quadrant, the dip can be much more severe, okay? So it's something we want to pay very close attention to. And let's go ahead and throw on our ALMA here. So our ALMA, I mean, that's really interesting. Look where that R no moving average is. Literally right on the price. So you could actually go green again here if you could flip this, and that is just about at, what, 38.5? That's interesting. I'm curious now why it's doing that. So looking at this, you know, the ALMA functions, you can see like a cloud of resistance, right? Almost like a Kumo cloud in the Ichi system. But it's right here at that precipice, and we are bottling up. So again, this could be another green. You see this pump up right here? This could be exactly what we're gearing up for, is another move up to try to flip to 233. So very, very crucial time. And that 233, by the way, for those of you keeping track at home, is about 45K here on, this is my Coinbase chart. So it's about 45,172 in this area. Throw the 233 EMA on your charts. Let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, guys. I have my fibs laid out. You can see we were tracking beautifully to Wyckoff until we were not. So we had our selling climax, our reaction, rubber band effect, our down thrust. We pump up from the down thrust, make our up thrust, and then we come back down, form our last point of support, pump up, strong sign of strength, and this is where you're supposed to get your cup pattern. As you guys remember me talking about this, you're supposed to get your cup here, maybe hold that one fib, and then get some accumulation, and then pump up with another sign of strength, and this would have been our backup area outside of our trading range, okay? And what happened with Bitcoin is it fell apart, and now we are back in this original trading range. You see this? We are back in this original trading range, which is not a good thing. It is a bearish thing. But let's look at the volatility and everything here. Let's see if we have confluence with the daily. Remember, the daily is a lagging time frame. So when the daily is right, here you go. You're starting to bottle up right here as well. We are below the median line. But again, it's all about the pattern that Bitcoin's forming, as well as having the momentum in the marketplace to do a move. Let's go ahead and look at our volume and everything. Volatility, you can see, touched our baseline. What happened after we touched our baseline? It descended. You see that price descension? So again, this is a downward trend here. But again, this is something Bitcoin, I expect a rubber band, okay? I mean, this is how the market trades. That's the price. People talk about price waves. The easiest visualization I can relate to you, if you don't understand that concept of price waves, is really to understand the rubber band effect, okay? If you're overbought, you will sell off. If you're oversold, you will be bought. And you end up making these price moves, these price waves back and forth. Wyckoff called it action reaction. And this is what you can see in the market over and over again. And right now in that consolidation, trying to hold this area. So this would be nice to see a pump up. We got to flip this 233. On the 4-hour, we have not had a problem flipping it. We have had a problem holding it, as you can see. We can flip it, we can get some bullish action, and then we keep falling back down through it, pump back up above this 233, the red dotted line, guys, pump back up above it, and then fall right back below it again. So now we have the 55 above us at 233. And again, that's right about 40,682 here on BitGet. We need to tackle that moving average, flip it, and hold it. That's the key. Gotta hold it. Let's go ahead and look at Ichi here on the 4-hour time frame. I forgot to do that on the daily. We'll have to go back and look. I mean, is it really this is indicative of a choppy market? You see this? Look at your choppiness here. So you have your moving average cloud on top of you. You can see that right here on the candle wick. You're getting a little short, fat, billowy clouds, and now you're getting a resistance cloud printing. This area right here is that Kumo twist area, right? This is a good area to try to punch through. Again, that March 10th, March 11th, March 12th date, somewhere in that range. Let's go back to that daily really quickly. I want to look at Ichi and see where we are in the cloud with making progress. Let's go ahead and turn off the ALMA. And where's my Kumo cloud? See if we're still wheeling around. Look at that. See, this is where I think we're going to attempt to punch through. And again, overall bearish market sentiment. Remember, you can have some wicked pumps, okay? You can have wicked pumps and bear markets and bear market dissensions. But, you know, we got to see if we can hold the key support. This 233 looks like it's going to be lining up right with roughly the top of the cloud as it comes down, right? Because it's going to be slightly descending. So it's going to be coming knifing right through this area. And again, on the daily time frame, we're right over here, March 8th, March 9th. So basically, we need to look at somewhere in this range. I mean, March 15th, 14th, somewhere in that range, anywhere over here. But this cloud is super thin. So this is that action I expect Bitcoin to take, okay? I expect Bitcoin to come down and then find a way here, whether it's a velocity compression or a volatility compression pattern, or make some type of bullish momentum pattern to try. I'm not saying it will succeed. I'm saying it will try. And this 233 will be coming down across. And this is the market, okay? This is the next big turn in the market. If you can flip the 233 on the daily, do something kind of bullish, you can pump back up. But honestly, guys, I expect something more like this. If we do flip it, I expect that we're going to get above it and then struggle and then fall down and fall apart because, again, the DXY moves inversely to Bitcoin. The DXY is reaching its highest level since after COVID, or during the month of COVID, I should say. And again, energy is what runs economies, and energy is what people have to pay for their homes. It's what fuels the food processing, making clothes, making cars, making all the commercial goods is energy. And we have the highest energy prices, highest oil prices now that we've had in over 13 years. So I don't see a lot of people, and I'm thinking about the average person. I'm not talking about hedge funds here, guys. The average person having the money to really fuel this huge move up in crypto. I do expect a pump. You guys have heard me say that consistently. I do expect a relief rally. I expect a pump, and I expect it. The bias for me is for it to fail at key resistance. And if it can flip that key resistance, you can have a higher move up, okay? But again, just being realistic with you guys. Just being realistic, looking at the macro markets, looking at gold soaring, oil soaring, all the commodities getting more expensive. And just as we sit, more than 40% of the stocks on the NASDAQ, more than 40%, understand that number, are off more than 50%. They are minus 50% in value. The markets look like they are going to topple, but that never rules out relief rallies. So that's what we need to pay attention to, because you can always get relief rallies. Hopium is very strong, and just now on TV, you can see that there's a little bit of bearish sentiment. Well, this is getting near the January lows. We could pump back up here. Let's not all get too excited. So I'm just being realistic with you guys. Always have an exit plan with what you want to do with your holdings in these various marketplaces. As always, I recommend stop losses. I recommend always protecting your profits. You never go broke taking profits. And tune in for the next video. Again, tomorrow we'll have the index video out, another Bitcoin video, and a commodities video. I really want to do this for you guys because this is such an important time to understand what's happening in the marketplaces, and you're not going to get it on mainstream media. These are all macro analysts. It doesn't do you any good for a macro analyst to tell you for the last 5 years that everything's going to come apart. You need to see what's happening in real time in order to make investment decisions that you make on your own, because as you guys know, this is only for entertainment and not financial advice. Guys, check out our links in the video description. Definitely jump on our Twitter as well. Love to talk to you guys, and hope to see you guys in our Discord. And of course, our BitGet link is there as well. Talk to you guys tomorrow.